Good morning, good morning. What's going on? I'm making this video. Mason Stardavin. You know you my little brother, right? You my little big brother, because you bigger than I am and I'm a lot older than you are. You know I love you to death, right? You know you're my guy, right? But I'm making this video to retain you. I'm gonna make you my next victim. You was talking to me about Darrell Green and derrell revis. You 30 years old, man, I'm 49. I've been watching football 40 years, and you know your stuff. Oh man, you know your stuff. You're the one dude that I respect when it comes to talking sports. But you ain't been around long enough to tell me about Darrell Green and then the receivers that I watched. I grew up watching and receivers now. Yeah, Terrell Owens and Randy Moss are the second and third best receivers at all time. But you tried to talk me yesterday that Darrell Green didn't play against receivers. He plays as good as receivers that they're playing against the receivers that what's his name. You can realize he had played against Randy Moss. And a 38-year-old Darrell Green held his own against Randy Moss in 1998. And Darrell Green was old. Randy Moss didn't dominate him. And Randy Moss had almost 17 touchdowns that year. And they went 15-1 in 1998. But you weren't old enough to remember that. And I'm gonna break something down to you. The receivers he had to play against three of the best receivers in the 80s. The first trio of receivers to get 1,000 yards on one team when it wasn't a passing league. And he did, and as a bad the receivers we had did that with average quarterbacks. Darrell Green beat two Hall of Fame quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. Jim Kelly, John Elway, first ballot. And John Elway, a two-time Super Bowl champion. And he won a Super Bowl MVP. I want you to remember that. And Darrell Green got an interception against Jim Kelly in the Super Bowl. A Buffalo team that went to 4 straight Super Bowls, who had at least 6 Hall of Famers on that team, who had the second all-time sack leader on that team, Bruce Smith, and first ballot Hall of Fame receiver, Andre Reed, who Darrell Green shut down in the Super Bowl. Want me to keep going? Although we lost to the 49ers in Week 2 in 1990, he shut Jerry Rice down to 33 yards. I don't know too many people shut Jerry Rice. We talking about Jerry Rice, the greatest receiver of all time, the Michael Jordan of receivers, who had 2,200 yards and 220 touchdowns. That nobody is gonna be hard to catch his records. Darrell Green held him. Yeah, although we lost 26-13, but he hit the 33 yards. Darrell Green intercepted 41 different quarterbacks. He had an interception 19 straight seasons. He ran a punt back and retired Walter Payton, who was the all-time leading rusher, until Emmitt Smith broke his record in the playoffs. In the playoffs in 1987, the year we won our second Super Bowl, ran a punt back. They put him back there to play punt with shattered ribs and 0 below weather, 30-something below weather, and ran a punt back holding his shattered ribs. Ran a punt back for a touchdown. The man has won when they do the fastest man contest here, he used to win it. He had to play against Steve Largent, Michael Irvin, Andre Reed, who he shut down in the Super Bowl, who's a Hall of Famer. Want me to keep going, Mason? You ain't talking to Jack and them, man. I'm good. You reach, I teach. You my guy. So I'm not gonna go off on you like I do with other cats. Because them and the other cats are stuck on stupid. You not. You my dude. I got too much love and too much respect for you. But I'm gonna educate you on something. Ain't he the greatest Redskin ever? And I know you say you like the Redskins outside the Panthers your first team. But Darrell Green came down here at 38 years old as a nickelback and came and got a game-winning interception against Carolina. Darrell Green also had a game-winning stop against Minnesota to get us to the Super Bowl against the Denver Broncos. And then the receivers he had to play against in practice, the first three trio of receivers, the posse, the greatest trio of receivers of all time, the legendary posse. For the three trio of receivers, best trio of receivers of all time. The first that got 1,000 yards, that paid the way for these receivers now. And they won 2 Super Bowls, Super Bowl 22, Super Bowl 26. And Art Monk is in the Hall of Fame. Art Monk had all the receiving records at first till everybody passed him and broke those records. Who do you think Darrell Green had to go against in practice every day? And also, Art Monk scored a Super Bowl touchdown in the Super Bowl. Matter of fact, when I get off this phone, I'm gonna send you the 1991 when I'm gonna show you how good the receivers was. Deion Sanders was hurt that game. He got hurt, but I'm gonna show you that he supposed to play that game. But we put up 56 points, gave him Mark Ribbon threw 6 touchdowns. I'm gonna show you that game when Gary Clark had 220-something yards receiving. And I don't care if Deion was hurt. Even when we played them in the playoffs, we played them in the playoffs again that year, and they came to DC, and we still beat them when Deion played. And they came up to DC and got on my radio, him and MC Hammer talking trash, and we beat them 24/7. See, man, I don't have to think this. I don't make up this stuff. I got to say stuff, and I don't have to Google it. I know the stuff in the back of my head, so I'm gonna educate you on something, Mason Stardavin. That's why I'm sending you these things this morning. When you reach, I teach. This ain't Jack. It's a whole nother animal. You better believe, go ask Lamont about me. You reach, I teach. You reach, I teach. And Darrell Green had an interception 19 straight seasons. And he played at he was 42 years old and still was running the 4-4. Although he became a nickelback, who you thought taught Champ Bailey? Who you think drafted Champ Bailey? We did. He played for us for 5 years. Him and Deion Sanders, all three of them played on the same team. Of course, Darrell Green and Deion was old. Deion played for us for a year. And Darrell Green took a back seat just to let Champ Bailey start. And Deion started just to take back mentor, and they both mentored Champ Bailey to become a Hall of Famer. And Darrell Green got his jersey retired. Oh, by the way, the game we went to 2 years ago when we beat you 40-7, when Aiden Davis got hurt, Darrell Green got his jersey retired that day against y'all. And they showed that on the Jerrython at Northwest Stadium, where Darrell Green got the game-winning interception against the Panthers in 1998. And I met him in person. He's a very humble, religious guy. My mama's brother, my Uncle Nate, knows him. I even got his jersey at the house. And I love Derrell Revis. Derrell Revis is nasty. But Derrell Revis ain't better than Darrell Green. And Derrell Revis did shut down, like you said, and I know that. Too many people can't shut down Randy Moss and T.O. and all those dudes. He did it. But too many people ain't shutting down Jerry Rice either. Now you tell me who would you rather brag on shutting down? Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, or T.O.? You tell me. I think I'd rather shut down Jerry Rice. You know why? Because that's the Michael Jordan. That's like saying you shut down Michael Jordan or Kobe. Because that's who that is when it comes to the receivers. He the Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant of receivers. He a 2-time Super Bowl MVP, a 2-time league MVP, and a 3-time Super Bowl champion. He got the most 2,200 yards and 220 touchdowns. That's who Darrell Green shut down week 2 in 1990, although we lost to 33 yards receiving. And Darrell Green got his interception in the Super Bowl against the first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback who went to 4 straight Super Bowl, Jim Kelly, who won the league MVP before. Darrell Revis ain't got a Super Bowl pick. When he did win the Super Bowl, he was washed up. He went to New England and won the Super Bowl, he was washed up. Darrell Green wasn't washed up when he went to his Super Bowls and won them. He played in 3 of them and won 2. And he had to play against 3 of the best receivers in the 80s in practice. And one of them in the Hall of Fame, and the other one's a borderline. The 3 receivers that had 1,000 yards in one season, the best trio of receivers of all time. The first 3 receivers to get 1,000 yards on one team, when it wasn't a passing league. And Ricky Sanders, who he had to go against practice every day, had 190 yards in the Super Bowl receiving. That's one of the Super Bowl records. This who he had to go, and then he had to go against Michael Irvin, who's a 3-time Super Bowl champ for the Dallas Cowboys. And the first ballot Hall of Famer. And one of the greatest college football players of all time at the University of Miami. He had to get against Steve Largent, who also had a bunch of records, who's the greatest receiver in Seattle Seahawks history. Chris Carter, top 5 receiver of all time. Who you think mentored Randy Moss when he came to Minnesota? When they both played in Minnesota. When Chris Carter was on his way out the league. So I'm going to teach you something, Mason Stardavin. I'm going to teach you something. Matter of fact, Darrell Green better than anybody in Carolina Panther history. Even MVP Cam Newton. Even MVP Cam Newton. He would have got a pick against Cam Newton. I don't care how big Cam Newton is. Yeah, Cam Newton might be 6'5", 240, 250, and Darrell Green is like 5'8", 170 pounds. But Darrell Green knew how to hit. Darrell Green would have got a pick, I promise you. I promise you. Because Cam known to throw picks. And you ain't had no receivers either. You would have had fun with them God receivers you had. Y'all went to the Super Bowl. And y'all would have stood a chance against that team. We scored 40 points 5 times, had the hardest schedule in Super Bowl history. Beat a team that went to the Super Bowl 4 straight years. Punished them. Had them up 24-0 halftime. They had 6, 7 Hall of Famers on that team. And Darryl Green won the Super Bowl with 3 quarterbacks that's not Hall of Famers. I rest my case. Still my guy though. Still love you though, big dog. I'll holler.